Ask Reddit by Kid Cadler in 2009. What TV show movie is fantastic but the fan base is trash? Some animes like Attack on Titan, JJK, and My Hero Academia are pretty good, but god, a lot of those fans, especially the MHA ones, need serious help. Used to love MHA, but the fan base is the weirdest, most disgusting shithouse ever spawned on Earth. Among Us was full of weird MHA fans named Horny Baku or brain rot shit like that. Any fandom that is more than a month old will devolve into elitism, gatekeeping, shipping wars, harassment, and outright hatred for the thing they like. That last one is always confusing to me. Twin Peaks, with its unique blend of mystery, horror, and surrealism, has a cult following that deeply analyzes every detail. However, the mystique and interpretive nature of the series sometimes lead to gatekeeping within the fan community, where differing interpretations can be met with disdain rather than open discussion. Star Wars. Anyone who is a Star Wars fan knows just how shitty the community is. Sue Rebel Moon's not a fanbase. Death threats for anyone that disagrees with them, and they act like a lack of subtlety or lack of a coherent plot is somehow high art. Rick and Morty. The show itself is a clever blend of humor, science fiction, and existential musings. However, some corners of its fan base have been known to stir up controversy, overshadowing the show's brilliance with less than stellar behavior. Ugh, this is etch and source bullshit. You know, I remember going out that day, not understanding the restaurants only had limited supplies. My best friend and I just thought it would be a fun to get some just for the nostalgia factor. We drove down to McDonald's and just turned around and went home because it was sheer pandemonium. We didn't understand the situation at all. We went home and just watched the chaos unfold in real time with everyone else. That shit was crazy. Wow, this entire thread is just bot posts. It's all ChatGPT responses. I think almost every fan base is trash. The Mr. Robot sub is maybe the only one that was good until the series ended. Discworld is always awesome as well. I've never seen any rubbish in there. It's nice to visit. Stranger Things. Love the show, but the fan base is weird ASF. Yeah, I liked it. Lots of Ghostbusters and AMP. 80s sci-fi horror vibes. Spoiler, I didn't think season 4 was all that great though. Seemed weird having the kids in high school and AMP. It felt like they were running out of good ideas and AMP were just using the season 4 filler. Attack on Titan, especially during the airing of the final season. There was a rise in problematic behavior, with subreddits like iYejubum thriving. Misogyny became the norm, and the fandom was split into ending defenders and ending haters. Not to mention the endless shipping wars and the Nazi rhetoric that was being sprouted on certain subreddits. The series overall is great, but the fandom flat out sucks. Thank God it's over, though a lot of the annoying fans have moved on to Jujutsu Kaisen. I can't wait for all of the annoying JJK anime only people to get caught up to the clusterfuck the manga is in right now. The manga is not as good as the second season was, and their disappointment and cope is going to be hilarious to watch unfold. All of them. People in general are trash. How optimistic of you. The Office. House of the Dragon. I've seen a lot of supposed fans say they love the show, then send rape and death threats to people who disagree with their opinion of the show. It's vile. Scarface. Deleted. I've always found the Star Trek community to be mostly great. The Sherlock series, known for its clever writing and charismatic leads, also experienced a fan base intensely shipping characters, sometimes to the point of pressuring the creators and actors. This fervor, while stemming from a place of enthusiasm, often detracted from discussions about the show's craftsmanship and narrative. Rick and Morty often gets a shout out for this, where the IQ to enjoy the show is purportedly high, But some fans take that way too literally and launch into another dimension of fervor. The number of people who believe that Skylar in Breaking Bad was a bad person is way too high. Harry Potter. I have yet to meet a Harry Potter fan that isn't a degenerate, not saying they can't exist. Also, I would say just anime in general, but that would be offensive to the 1% that aren't like that. Way too many closeted nonces into anime for me to want to hang out with any anime fans. Has been Hotel Helluva Boss. Warhammer 40k. Evangelion. Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Fallout. Steven Universe. That's some of the main stuff I'm into, and I'm extremely insufferable. Fallout? Like Fallout 4? Already? Sesame Street. It's YouTube, but the Red Letter Media subreddit is awful. South Park sub is fucking horrible, but the AHOW is amazing. What fan base isn't trash? There's nothing worse than a person who's A. convinced a thing has no flaws, and B. has attached their ego to thing. Capitalism is a cult. Well, really, a collection of cults, and it's an insipid waste of what it meant to be human. What does capitalism have to do with this? The Star Wars franchise, spanning decades, has a rich lore and an expansive universe that has enchanted generations. Yet, it's also known for a fan base where differing opinions on the sequels and prequels have often resulted in heated, if not hostile, online debates, overshadowing the saga's unifying love for a galaxy far, far away.